Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Titans issue number 36. This is the final issue of this comic book. Does not give me any indication the comic book is going to change titles and something. I have no idea what's going to happen with these characters after this is over. And that's really sad because this was a great way to end the story. Anyway, guys, this issue is called Into the Bleed Finale. Dan Abnett is the writer, Bruno Redondo is the artist, Marcelo Maiolo on covers, Dave Sharp on letters, Redondo and Alejandro Sanchez do the cover, and Francis Manapul did the variant cover. The variant cover is gorgeous, my peeps, and I really did debate which cover I should get, but I finally went with the main cover. Anyhow, so yeah, we do get I think that the best way to end the Mother Blood storyline was this way. Excuse me, I was thinking that something like this could possibly happen, but I didn't want to guesstimate if it would or not. Not guesstimate. I didn't want to guess if it would actually happen like this or not. It did, and I'm really satisfied with her fate. Yes, it is a fate where we probably will see her again, but I can just imagine what she's going to be when she comes back. This character, to me, Mother Blood, is way more interesting than Brother Blood. Way more interesting. Okay. Not every character gets a send-off necessarily, but there is a lot of focus on Raven and Nightwing, of all characters. If you remember how this team got formed, I remember I read that issue. I forget which issue it was. Was it 26? Anyway, I read that first issue where where this team was formed, and I said that this probably should have been in issue number 1, but I'm glad it wasn't because it didn't feel like an issue 1. There are new characters in here, for me at least, new characters. I didn't know who these characters were. There was no good explanation for it. This was not a comic book for a new reader to any of these characters. If you didn't already have an intimate knowledge of who these characters were, you had no clue as to what in the hell was going on. So anyway, I read that first issue and I was lost. I'm like, I'm out. And I kind of wish now that I didn't, but yeah, I can only say that knowing what I know now. This issue did go back to that first issue in a great way. It's funny how the end of this comic book was actually the beginning, metaphorically at least. All right, not actually, they didn't travel through time, but it almost felt like they did because it was a really great send-off. So if you're going to end a title and I didn't see any explanation for why it's being ended, I'm going to say this is probably the way to do it. This was really good. So I would definitely consider grabbing this comic book. I mean, obviously you're going to grab it if you've been reading it this long. If you haven't, then I can't recommend grabbing this issue. If you haven't been reading this title, do not grab this issue. Rather, consider getting the trade paperbacks since the new team had formed, since Nightwing had formed the new team and then suddenly disappeared because Dick became Rick. Yeah, happens. It happens. That's regarding Henry. Anyway, good comic book. Again, really great send-off. Loved it. All right, guys. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.